Welcome to Health Oddity, the show that strips away the jargon and hype surrounding all things health and fitness to help you live a long, strong and energetic life. Lining up at the bar this week, here's Peter Ladd and James St. Pierre.
Hello, it's Peter here, and welcome back to the Health Oddity podcast for Pavel Macek, part 2. This is a continuation from the conversation we had with Pavel last week, where it took a different turn, and Pavel started to talk about philosophy and mindfulness practices. So please enjoy.
What's next for you? I mean, you're obviously, I know that when we spoke to Fabio, he was saying that he travels, like, I don't know, or I think it might have been Sean Cairns as well. So they travel sort of like 30 weekends of the year or something like that to different places, teaching all over the world. Do you do a lot of travel with teaching? Oh, you've got your cat there.
Hey.
We like animals on the podcast. We
do.
Dogs, yeah. Do you do a lot of travel with your teaching, or are you mainly based in Prague and nearby, or do you do lots of travel for teaching as well?
I think it just gets covered quite naturally. I'm teaching about 6 certifications a year, which is just right. I need time for my own practice. I need time for my research, for reading. I'm reading a couple of hours a day. I'm writing a lot. I'm interested in lots of stuff. My original education is philosophy and psychology. I have a project on Stoic philosophy and kind of personal development type of project. So not enough time and lots of stuff to do. Of course, I'm teaching the classes as well, but I try to balance the time that I'm dedicating to the students, teaching certifications, workshops, the time for myself, which is reading, writing, lifting, meditation. I have 2 years plus straight without a day missing day sitting meditation, which I found something very useful and very, I wouldn't say satisfying, very beneficial, right? And of course my wife, family, cats, and just sitting and doing nothing, right? So I have lots of projects in works. We'll actually shoot couple of online courses next week with my friend and his professional crew. It doesn't have, I'm still deciding the name, but basically it will be, if we succeed, it will be a series of online courses devoted to pull and press, basically. So some exercises, preliminary exercises that were taught back in the old days in Tsarist Russia, when people started with the kettlebells, assisted clean, assisted press, and some carries like entry program, some old-time strongman variations of the swings and the get-ups that we don't see out there. Clean and press, obviously, but muscle clean and push press. And as I said, I love push press. I think it's very underused drill and very beneficial. Split clean and split jerk, kind of a weightlifting type of training with the kettlebells. Again, anybody can do it with a proper progression. Snatch and a side press. Side press, again, in my opinion, very underused drill with huge benefits. The bridge between the press and the bench press, and then the split snatch and the bench press as the final program. So always one pull, one type of press, either ballistic, such as push press and jerk, or slow, which would be the side press and the bench press. So this is one project that I have in mind, and let's see how it goes. Another is basically it will be all-time strongman kettlebell training. Some lifts that were very popular back in the old days, or their variations that we don't see much today, and that I feel are very useful as a main program or as a specialized variety. So some variations of the get up, let's say variations of the snatch and clean and press, a couple of unique drills that I dug out in some of the old articles and old manuals. So this will be a more comprehensive course with more drills, kettlebell hack squat, you name it. I need to do follow up to my Great Gamma protocol, which is body weight based program, Hindu push-ups, Hindu squats, sun salutations. Again, something that has been done before. Matt Fury and his legendary combat conditioning. I used again my Strongfirst education and my functional movement systems educations, narrowed down the curriculum, went really deep, and I have a follow-up program called Mighty Hanuman protocol, which is basically the same drills but more movement based from the Indian and Chinese martial arts. So the IPM, Imperial Program Minimum, something that I've been working on for many years. So I have lots of projects in works, and right now, hopefully, the Enter the Dumbbell online course will be finished and released soon. And then I'll see what other project I select and finish.
Excellent. I mean, you're highly productive, obviously, from talking to you. You're that level of productivity and that level of creation and also kind of introspective study and meditation and time. I mean, do you have a system that or do you have any advice or because you mentioned I'm reading at the moment the Marcus Aurelius Meditations for the first time. You bought that as well, Pete, didn't you? Yeah. So I'm reading that at the moment. But do you have a kind of a system or a method that you subscribe to for being as productive as you are? Because there's that saying, isn't there? If you want something done, give it to someone, give it to a busy person, because you're used to maximizing your time. But what you've just said there, I mean, do you have much time? You mentioned you like movies, you like good movies, but do you have
TV shows? I need to mention that The Lost is the best TV show of all time. So if you haven't seen it twice or three times, you need to watch Lost. Okay.
I've never watched a single episode of Lost. I don't know, but I hear mixed things, because some people love it and some people say it just sort of lost its way. But I lost its way, you know. But I'll have
back to the system. Back to the system.
Back to the system. Yeah. So do you have a system? But that's interesting because it sounds like to some people they could think, well, this guy never has any fun, or this guy never relaxes because you're so productive. But you obviously have time,
and I relax most of the time. I'm lazy by the nature. Just one quick tip for you reading Marcus Aurelius. Very hard to read. Get a book called Inner Citadel by Pierre Hadot. Read that first, and then read Marcus Aurelius. So it's called The Inner Citadel by Pierre Hadot.
Thank you, because when James mentioned that, that's why I went, you're reading that as well, aren't you? I kind of went, yeah. But I'm reading bits of it and then just going, I didn't get that. Because
you need to remember that these are his not only private notes, but as you will learn in the book, this is his exercise. The writing was an exercise per self, one of the Stoic exercises, but I'm not gonna spoil the book for you. So Inner Citadel by Pierre Hadot, and then when you come back to the meditations and his note, it will make suddenly lots of sense. But back to the system. Basically, I select one thing that I do every day, every single day. It's just one thing, right? For last couple of years is the meditation, the sitting meditation. It's probably the best thing that I ever started. Very simple, 10 minutes a day. It's truly life-changing. So no exceptions. I do it every day. I have 2 years and 1 month right now without a break. And a couple of years before that, I missed maybe 10 sessions in a couple of years, right? So select one thing. It might be your morning recharge, doing your Tai Chi set or your sun salutation or whatever. But select one thing that you will do every single day, no exception. And then you can add something else to it, right? But if you don't, if you miss, okay, doesn't matter. I still keep one thing. The other thing is as for the creativity, right? I love the creative process. So when I'm in the zone, I just keep going. I usually select a topic and I go really deep into it. And when I hit a bottom, I switch to something else. And then I come back to the project again. So I have lots of drafts, lots of unfinished projects, but then time to time I just go into my folders, into my files. I select something and then I go into that and finish it. So I would say the opposite is the I'm not a friend of like the productivity systems when your day is okay, from this hour to that hour you do this and that, get things done and stuff like that, right? I like the flexibility, and I learned uh, thanks to the meditation, then sometimes the most productive thing that you can do is just sit and do nothing. So I still spend, apart from teaching and writing and doing research, working for Strongfirst, which takes also quite a significant amount of time. I need time just for my reading and for my writing, or just being with my wife, watching a good TV show such as The Lost, right? Again.
We just started to watch again. It's not all about TV and program. We just started to watch The Night Agent yesterday on Netflix. Have you watched that, Pete, at all?
Sean's watching it. Sean tends to pick things to watch.
Yeah.
And I'll either get into it or she'll be watching something and I'll be like, nah, I'm not into that. So I just sit and mess about with my cubes. I've got all these to mess about with. So
No, that's quite.
Currently, The Chosen,
Oh, is that?
the TV series about the life of Jesus Christ, and it's done extremely well. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. No. And do you kind of have a? I'm just asking for myself as well, because I'm in the process of freeing up quite a lot of time in my week to allow me to do something, but I don't quite know what. But so that I've got the freedom to, if I want to start writing a book, or if I want to start, just to free my mind up to have that time to think, where I'm not just on the go all the time. And do you schedule time to kind of, do you have a cut-off time, say in the evening, where you just relax after that, or do you have time set aside where you do, or is it just very fluid and very kind of relaxed and
Basically, if I tell you my schedule,
yeah.
which it looks like basically like this. I wake up usually quite early because the mornings are me, my wife, our cats, and tea, right, in the morning. So that's just our morning ritual. Most of the days, then we either go live together with my wife, or she goes to teach in her gym, and I have classes at 10 a.m., so a little bit later. So I do usually my reading in the morning, reading, writing, take some notes, or possibly do some emails. Then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go to lift. Tuesdays and Thursday is usually dedicated to my Strongfirst work. So answering emails, preparing different stuff for Strongfirst. Usually in the afternoon, I'm drinking the tea a lot, as you could see. So I usually drink a tea, read a book, write something, watch something, some educational material. Whenever possible, I go outside. Because I love to spend time in the sun. So I take the work outside or take the reading outside, sit on the grass and read. I listen to podcasts a lot. I listen to lectures a lot because my gyms are quite close to my place. So I need to have some steps during the day. So I have different coffee rooms that I go to. I just put on some lecture by Jordan Peterson, or listen to Sam Harris about mindfulness and meditation, and I just go there, enjoy my coffee, come back, or enjoy meet my wife and enjoy coffee together. I'm teaching in the evenings, and then the evenings we just spend together with my wife, watch a TV show, or just discuss training and stuff, and life. I do my sitting meditation. Sometimes I do it in the morning. Lately, I switch to the evening meditation. So usually around 15 minutes of sitting meditation, and just maybe read a book, go to sleep quite early, because of the training, we need to eat well, and we need to sleep well and recover. So I like to go to sleep earlier and wake up earlier.
It's funny because James was talking about the perceptions people can have, right? So, people might be like, well, what do you need to do all that for? Because your life seems pretty much well together. And I spoke exactly the same thing to a guy on Tuesday night who would do some mindfulness stuff with and what have you. And he'd been having a chat with one of his friends, and one of his friends said, what do you do all this for? You seem to have everything together. And he's like, that's because I do it. And if I stop doing it, I won't be like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, you've said you've done meditation every single day for 2 years. Before that, you might have missed a few, but not many, which isn't the end of the world as well. But you've been dedicated to doing it every day. So 15 minutes a day for 2 years. I mean, that's, oh God, I don't even know what that is, but that's
20%,
like,
right? Very small part of the day, but do it every day, and it's really life-changing. What I would say is, in Buddhism, they say if the luggage is too heavy, you put it down, rest a little bit, but then you pick it up and go again, right? So sometimes, of course, we are finishing some projects. So some days are crazy. So I spend them behind the computer and emails back and forth, and this and that, right? But it's not every day. And if it was like this every day, it would drive me crazy. So I learned to say no to many things, right?
Yeah.
I still need sometimes, for example, whenever I'm teaching the event or certification, I'll come to UK, and the event starts at 8. I wake up at 5 or maybe 4:30, because I need to do my morning meditation, right? I need to do my morning recharge, and I need to read something. So I just need to wake up earlier. So and it's not something that I'm addicted to it, right? My overall goal is freedom, independence. So I don't need to do it like, have a coffee or have a tea in the morning. If I don't have it, cool, right? But if I can have it, I'll make my time to do so, to do my meditation, to do my morning recharge, to do my morning reading. And I think the morning rituals are probably the most important, because then you open your email box, right? And then the phone calls start to come, right? Then the life hits hard, but you say, hey, I done my Hindu push-ups and Hindu squats. I did my meditation. Now I finally understand the Marcus Aurelius. So I read just 2 or 3 pieces, and I'm pondering on it, right? Try to let it soak my soul into it, right? And it's done. And then, okay, bring it on.
That's interesting, because years ago when I used to work in an office, long hours, and I was just knackered. I had 6 screens. I was staring at 6 screens because of what I did, and it was just so tiring. And that was years ago. So last November just gone, I had like a quick project going on, and then for 2 days I had to sit. I was basically sitting at a laptop all day for 2 days, and at the end of that, I was like, now I know why I don't do that anymore. So it was actually quite interesting to do it just for 2 days. And I was like, people do this 5 days a week for 20 years. So it reminded me, like, that's why I don't do that anymore. If I ever think about going back to doing that, I'm not going to do it. So it's really interesting.
We have the best job in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I'm teaching somebody a swing or a push press, I'm doing a mini training session of my own, right? And review. When I show drills to my martial arts student, I'm training again, and we have the option to change somebody's life, to make them stronger physically, mentally, make them more resilient, healthier, give them a simple blueprint great training blueprint that they can apply, let's say, to their business or to their general lifestyle, right? So we have the I'm forever grateful for the job that I have. So another secret probably of so-called productivity, which I wouldn't use in my case because I'm very lazy, but another secret of productivity is just do what you love and you don't have to work a single day in your life, right? So this is just something that I truly enjoy. Teaching people, writing, create new stuff based on the old stuff, right? So if you love what you do, that it's not work, it doesn't feel like work. If I talk to our accountant and I need to fill in some blank, so then that's work. That's horrible, right? But this, okay, this is fun.
It's funny because that thing, do what you love and you'll never work another day in your life. There's a comedian called Nicholas DeSantos who's hilarious. Like, I think he's hilarious. And he used to work for the BBC, but he started to do comedy as well on the side. He was a researcher for the BBC, I think, and he was doing comedy on the side. And because of the type of comedy he was doing, the BBC basically got rid of him. So his thing is, yeah, you do what you love and you will never work another day in your life. And he goes, and in my case, it's true because I lost my
We
job.
cancel culture, right?
It's interesting. That is so interesting. And I read something the other day, I think, from Will Polston, who we've had on the podcast a couple of times, and he said that like overwhelm, like this kind of feeling of being overwhelmed is often when you're trying to do too much stuff that really doesn't is not aligned to what you love to do. You're trying to do lots of things maybe for other people, or you're trying to force yourself to do things that you don't really love to do, and then you get really overwhelmed. But when you're doing like you mentioned, Pavel, when you're working really hard, but you're doing stuff that you love and that you're passionate about and it excites you and that invigorates you, you don't really get the feeling of overwhelm. You almost get the feeling of gratitude because you're spending so much time doing what you love,
I would add to it, you need to learn to do stuff that you don't like to do as well, right? So for example, we are swimming every Sunday in the river, right? In the winter. I don't like it. The water is freaking cold, right? And it's non-comfortable, right? But in the Batman Begins movie, remember the scene when he fights in the beginning of the movie in the prison, a big guy, and he tells him, "I'm a devil," right? And he said, "You're not devil, you are practice," right? Once you see the obstacles in your life not as obstacles but as practice, you learn to enjoy them and they give you the opportunity to grow. So sometimes, life is difficult, right? And you will meet different obstacles, but if you treat them as a practice, as training that will help you to grow and make you stronger and more resilient, then you just say, okay, excellent, what a great opportunity, right? And in the end, we need to learn the Zen mind of carrying water and chopping wood. There is this famous story of a guy who worked at McDonald's his whole life, and he enjoyed his work, flipping the burgers, and serving the customers, and this was his thing, and he enjoyed for us mundane type of work with not a great pay, but he enjoyed it. So for example, our accountant, he loves his job. It would drive me crazy, right? But this is his calling. So find what you love and then share it with other stuff, or use it share it with other people, or use it to help other people. That's maybe another piece of the puzzle.
That's perfect, because when you've got stuff like that to do, like accounts or whatever, just give it to someone who loves doing it if you don't, because it's stressful otherwise. And they'll do a better job anyway.
Don't try to be the best at everything, right? If somebody wants to learn the barbell lifting, I will refer him to Doug Hartle or to Fabio, right? They are like the barbell guys. I can teach him the deadlift. We just talked today with Jiří Kadlčík, the strongman, right? And I told him Yeah, the barbell workshops, I'm not sure that I can teach you something that you don't know, but Fabio is coming in October, and you definitely need to come to the SFL cert, because he's the master, and I'm sure that he will have lots of useful pointers for you, and we are also interested what stuff you can share with us, so we can get better. So that's possibly for the time management, productivity that you asked before about, James. Don't try to do everything and delegate, right? So some stuff, I know that there is stuff that only I can do and nobody else, and there is stuff that many other people can do, and possibly it's stuff that I don't enjoy to do, or they just do it better. So okay, I refer, and I pay gratefully for their services.
Excellent. No, this is great. It really is, because obviously we've talked at length and quite detail and specifically around training and the kind of workshops and the Enter the Dumbbell and the Strongfirst system. But then we've also talked a lot about life. You know, one quick question I would say is, have you got any resource or anything that you would recommend? You've mentioned the sitting meditation that you do for around 15 minutes a day, every day without fail. Is there a certain form of meditation that is? What is there a book that people could go to? Is there a methodology or a system or a form of practice that you would recommend for people to find out more about the kind of meditation that you do?
I will recommend two books and one app. So the first book is called, and honestly, if I saw just the title, I wouldn't buy it, right? But it was recommended to me, and it's excellent book. It's called Meditation in Plain English. So that's a first book. The second is, and it's written by a Buddhist teacher. The second book is Waking Up by Sam Harris, renowned philosopher and neuroscientist, who takes a scientific point of view, but still very, very practical. And with the book goes his app, which is called Waking Up. I'm subscriber for last couple of years, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. You go through the introductory 30-day meditation course. Then you can either follow the guided meditation, do it on your own, or he has various teachers teaching various kinds of meditation. It is said that the Buddha, he had over 40 different types of meditations for different people. So there are many methods, lots of mumbo jumbo and esoteric stuff, of course, and lots of nonsense. But in the end, the core is very, very simple. It's very simple. Not easy. When I started, I felt like my brain is going to split in two, and I had severe headache. It was very difficult for me because I was used to do something all the time, read, watch, listen, right? And now just sit and focus on your breath. So it was truly painful, but it got better, and I think it has improved the quality of my life. I cannot just express it. I started to notice smells and colors, and I started to enjoy life way more than before. So it's truly life changing. So these two books and the app.
So and so I've got three books I need to buy: The Inner Citadel, Meditation in Plain English, and Waking Up, which is fantastic. And then if you can message me the name of the two people I need to follow on Instagram. So it's, I think you said it's Jiri something is the MMA guy.
Yeah, similar. He's by the way his friend, right? So
okay.
it's same group. Jiří Kadlčík, I'll message you. I'll message you the name how to. So I'll send you his Instagram profile. Yeah. Send him hello. We just talked together for about half an hour. He's truly an awesome guy. James, I can recommend you so many books. I have probably maybe 5,000 books at my place. So like I said, I read a couple of books weekly. So
I can't remember who I was. I've got loads of books here as well, and I've got more book. There was a book I read recently, or someone I read recently or listened to, and they said about having more books than you can read in your lifetime, and that should be, you're never going to read all the books in your whole lifetime that would that you can, but I'm always, I don't read as many books as you know. I don't get through as many as you, but I do love reading and really enjoy it. No, this has been amazing. And also the other thing I just want to make sure people didn't sort of skirt over was you made a comment about, you know, your kind of owning your morning. Do you know what I mean? And being in control of the way that you start your day, because that is the most powerful time of the day, because obviously what you do first thing in the morning very often dictates how the rest of your day goes. And if you wake up and the first thing you do is put the news on or something like that, you know, you're just gonna let whatever's going on out, or whatever someone is feeding you is going on outside, is going to kind of go into your brain and then it affect the way that you, or if you open your emails first thing in the morning and there's an email that is not particularly good, that's going to frame your day. But being in control and doing things very, I think mindfully is the word, doing things very mindfully, is brilliant. No, you've shared so much with us today, Pavel. This has been incredible, and I really look forward to spending some quality time, you know, in person, face to face with you in May. Anything you'd like to say, Pete, before I kind of wrap up, or
Loads. We could go on for ages.
we could go on for ages.
No, just because Pavel mentioned meditation. I used to do meditation. I used to meditate, but now I go for a walk instead. I find that much easier. I've got a spaniel. We'll go for a walk for like 2 hours.
No, the thing is that you want the dedicated practice and your regular life to become one, right? So when people talk about meditation, it's like, okay, just the dedicated time on the cushion when you are sitting and breathing and whatnot. But this is just a tool. It's again just a tool. The goal is that your day and your practice just merges and becomes. So you can go for a walk and you just instead of being on your phone and or your mind being elsewhere, you just feel the sun, feel the breeze, notice a flower, notice a kid smiling, and then that's the meditation. The word in Pali it's called bhavana, which means something like cultivation, right? And then we have different words for mindfulness, different words for concentration and mindfulness. I know in Czech, I don't know in English the terms, right? But when people say meditation, they think, okay, I sit on the cushion and right, but it's way more than that.
Well, I know that, but you said something about like, sitting down and counting your breaths made your head nearly split apart. I was really good at that, and I'd do it for 15 minutes. Like, well, I'll do it for another 15, and I'd be there for like an hour, and then I was like, hang on, I need to do something different because I was good at that bit of just
and
like,
again, it may be the practice, because in the end, it's just noticing the way the things already are. That's the meditation. And if your shoulder hurts, you just notice that your shoulder hurts. The other thing is to add a story to that, right? So in Buddhism, they talk about 2 arrows. So one arrow, you got shot with an arrow and it hurts. But the second arrow is your story about that arrow, why it hurts, right? So meditation in the end is about not producing some pleasant states of mind, right? It's not true. It's just noticing the way the things already are, and they may be pleasant or not pleasant or neutral. And if they are not pleasant, you are not pushing them away. If they are pleasant, you are not grabbing onto them, right? So you just notice.
Mm-hmm. This is great, fantastic. And Pavel, if people have not, because we get lots of kind of people in their 40s plus who are just interested in leading a more healthy, more long, more kind of strong, more fit, more energetic kind of life. They may not currently follow you or be aware of you before the podcast today. If people want to find out more about you and follow you and keep in touch with what you do, what's the best way for people to do that? Is there a social media platform you're most active on that you want people to go to, or?
Mm-hmm. What I recommend is follow me on social media, Instagram, X, Facebook. If you type my name, Pavel Macek, it will pop out. I have a Czech profile, but it's only in Czech. I have a page which is in English, currently around 70,000 fans. So that page and my Instagram and X account. So I'm sharing my thoughts there quite often. As for the website, I have a website called simplexstrong.com. I'm posting some of the old-time strongman articles most of the time, and I have my online courses there. I mentioned the Great Gamma Protocol, the morning recharge, health and strength movement-based system. I have a very thorough online course which is called The Forge, which is basically personal development course, more than 50 lessons, instructional videos that covers everything from morning recharge, breathing exercises, sitting meditation, joint mobility, movement practice, strength training, of course, body weight, kettlebell, dumbbell, and some additional lifestyle tips. So it's very, very thorough. I don't think there is anything so comprehensive out there. So if you know what, if some of your listeners are interested, send me an email or a message and I'll send you a discount code, special discount code just for your podcast.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Pavel. And then, like I said, like I opened up with almost nearly, about an hour and 45 minutes ago, I think, which is great. We've had a great conversation today. Pavel will be over in the UK, in England, this May. So he's got the Enter the Dumbbell workshop on Friday, the 23rd of May, which is 12 till 5 p.m. And then we've got the whole weekend of the Strongfirst SFB bodyweight certification on that weekend, the Saturday and the Sunday, the 24th and the 25th of May, for the whole weekend with Pavel. So you will see, if you go to, they are all at Unique Results. So if you follow or follow Unique Results or Strongfirst GB, Pavel, that's going to be everywhere. Those courses that you can sign up for. And thank you so much, Pavel. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor speaking to you, and thank you for being so generous with your time and for covering so much ground in that podcast. It was brilliant. So thank you, everybody. We will be back. I think what we'll do, Pete, we'll split that into two. I think we'll make that.
Will we?
No, sorry, you know what I mean. That will be a part 1 and a part 2. So that will be episode 234 and 235. And we will be back next week with 236. So we will sort that out. But thank you so much. Please do like, share, subscribe. Leave a review if you're watching or listening on a platform that allows you to do so, especially if you're on Apple Podcasts. Go on there and leave us a review. We would love that. And definitely give Pavel a follow on Instagram, X, Facebook. Check out his website. And obviously we would love to see you in May at the Enter the Dumbbell workshop or at the Strongfirst SFB. So until next week, thank you so much, Pavel.
Excellent. Thank you for the invitation, and see you soon live. Looking forward to it.
And excellent. Thank you very much, Pete.
Yep. Cheers.
Cool. And we will see you next week. Until then, bye-bye.
You've been listening to Health Odyssey with Peter Lant and James St. Pierre. To get your regular fix of hype-free health, you can subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your favorite podcasts. You can find out more on today's and other topics at healthodyssey.com or find us on Facebook or Instagram by searching for Health Odyssey.